Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am so happy you clicked on this video, and it's taken me a lot to sit down and actually film this. I am not a person to just sit in front of a camera and just speak to nothing. So, well, not nothing, but you know. Yeah, I'm very surprised that I actually sat down and I'm filming this, but I'm so thankful that I have amazing friends and followers that encourage me to do this, because that's honestly what helped me. And I've always kind of felt like God has put this on my heart to reach out to these kind of people, even if it's not just face-to-face, just through video chatting or YouTube. So it's definitely a blessing that I had that encouragement, because honestly that is what really motivated me to do that. Just having those two questions come in originally just shows that, like, even if I just meet one life and help encourage one person to either get to know Jesus more or become saved, or just help in a bad situation they're in, or honestly whatever it is. So I'm so happy that you guys encouraged me, and I'm so happy that you guys are watching this video. That's kind of what my channel is going to be about. It's going to be about well, this is a question and answer video. I'm not entirely sure of what video I'll even do next. I'll probably do makeup videos once in a while, but I just want this place to be, or my channel to be, a safe place for you guys, and just a overall encouraging experience of how I came to know God, how my relationship with the Lord got stronger, starting that younger, my testimony, all of that. I pray that all of that encourages you, and I pray that this video will too. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to try to answer these questions as best as I can. Let's see. Okay, first question. I think there's a lot of them. I don't know how many I'll be able to answer. Also, if I keep looking over here, that is where my viewfinder is, and I want to make sure it's still like recording and focused. Okay, first question. Okay, let's see. I was wondering what advice you have for someone who is using faith. I've been through a lot mentally, whether it be anxiety, depression, self-harm, hospital visits, or just being lost in general. I don't know how to reconnect with my spiritual side. I don't really believe in God anymore and have lost faith. I don't have the motivation or reason to reconnect with church and God. If you could answer that, that would be great. Okay, well, I am certainly answering it right now, and I will try my best to answer every part of that. I want to first off start by saying that I've been there. I've been where you have been, and even if it's not just this awesome girl that asked me this question, first off, you were so strong, because asking me that, especially me filming this video for one of these questions, honestly, it takes a lot of strength and courage. And even some of you that do feel that way, that did not ask me that question, that you might feel that way on the inside and you don't really want to admit to anybody, yourself, or even God, honestly, because sometimes when you feel that heavy-hearted and not knowing what to do and being in so much hurt, that you can kind of lose a vision of what life's really about, and why am I here, and why do I have this purpose if I'm feeling this much hurt and I'm not enjoying life, to be quite honest. But I want to first off start by saying sorry, I'm just getting over notes. I have a lot of verses that I could read to you, but that's not what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to share my advice, because I've been there, and honestly, let's see. Well, this is kind of a part of my testimony. I'm not going to go too into it, but I've been there. I still deal with anxiety to this day. I do have clinical depression. I have all those things, and and honestly, it's very hard to deal with, and it is very, you kind of feel, so heavy-hearted, because you feel like there's no way out, and you feel like, you know, why am I here? What's my purpose in my life? Why do I feel this way? Why would God allow me to feel this way? And why would He give me this burden to carry? And why would, you know, all these questions? And honestly, the first thing I have to say is He doesn't want you to carry that burden. He does not want you to feel this way inside. Obviously, God didn't say we wouldn't have struggles in our life. God didn't say that life would be easy, because honestly, being a Christian, as you guys know, whether you're Christian, saved or not, life is hard, and even as a Christian, I feel like sometimes it's harder because you have more, I don't want to say, well, yeah, standards in a way to live up to, and you have more purpose to fulfill, you feel, because you have this vision. And that's why it's so important, not getting off topic, but to help share the gospel to others so they can see this vision and so that they have a purpose. So honestly, I'm going to try to break this down as much as I can without, let's see. For me, it's just like, how I got out of this is I just snapped myself out of it. I dealt with anxiety. My anxiety was bad, the worst, last year, 2 summers ago. I mean, it was bad where I had an eating disorder. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 weeks at a time. Everything I ate, I got sick. Everything, like, I did, like, I went to my best friend's house, and on the way there, like, I had an anxiety attack in the car, and I'm like, I'm not even anxious about anything. Why do I feel this awful, and why do I feel like the world is just, like, crushing my heart? And I didn't know Jesus at that time, but I was just like, you know, what is my purpose? Why am I feeling this way? Why am, you know, like, why do I feel this empty? Why do I feel this hurt? And honestly, I was saved, but I wasn't really truly relying on God. And I know when people say they have anxiety or depression, I think the last thing I want to hear, and I don't know if it's the same for you, is like, oh, it'll be okay, you know, it gets better. And that's all true, and that's amazing, but like, that's not really what helped me get through it. Get through it is just like being in the Word, praying about it, and God being like, show me what you want for my life, show me what my purpose is. Because sometimes when you don't ask God those tough questions that maybe you don't even want to know the answer to, we feel empty and we feel kind of purposeless. But we do have a purpose in this world, and we do definitely have great value, and we have worth, and we are, like, my favorite blogger says, your brokenness is welcome here. Sometimes the world doesn't make you feel welcome, and sometimes they want to sugarcoat your brokenness, and they want to make it seem like no one can be broken, or if you're broken, then like you're insane and you have like problems that no one else wants to deal with. And that's not true, because all of us hurt. And there's so many stories in the Bible, and this is what I'm going to share for this question is it's in Mark 5. Let's see. Let's see. It's in Mark 5:27, and this is about Jesus healing the woman. If you know that story, I'm not going to get completely into it, so I'm not making this video super, super long. When she heard about Jesus, may touch his clothes, I should be made well. So she said, when she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment, for she said, if only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well. 29. Immediately the foundation of her blood was drained up, because she was basically bleeding to death. And she found in her body that she was healed of the affliction. So that just shows, if you read that whole story, Jesus is basically going to save someone else. And oh my gosh, sorry. They're going through this crowd, and like the apostles are with him, and I think so, sorry. So they're going through the crowd with him, and she's like bleeding to death, and she probably doesn't think she has, you know, a reason, because, you know, Jesus is trying to save someone else, and she's like bleeding to death. And you know, there's so many things in life, because it kind of gives a bigger picture of it. Just like so many crowds of people, and like she's that one in the crowd, and you know, so many people are touching him, so many people are pushing through the crowd, be like, okay, you need to go save this person, like the other person, like, and when you finish the story, but this one girl that barely had any strength left touched him, and he managed to feel that one person that is deeply hurting to touch him, you know, like. And if you read more into it too, he says, do not be afraid, only believe. And if you think of the bigger picture with this, is like, he's going through crowds of people. Many people were touching him. How did he feel that one girl that was dying and felt him? You know, he healed her immediately. And it shows that God didn't hesitate to heal you. God didn't, you know, think about it. Be like, oh, you know, do you deserve it? No. Like, we don't deserve anything, honestly. And it shows here that immediately he healed her. And I think, honestly, I'm trying to not talk in circles here, but I can get on a rant. So like, pursue God, pursue wise counsel, seek his face continually. Sometimes it's the last thing you want to do, even if you are in a good place in life. You know, that's the last thing you want to do is read your Bible. That's the last thing you want to really just like engage in. You're like, you know, this has never helped me, so like, why am I going to try this now? You know, we get the selfish attitude and pride, and that's just Satan, because Jesus is really the only truly thing that can heal us and that can really heal our brokenness inside of our heart. And I know when I felt that much hurt, I didn't believe in God in a sense. I knew he was real, but I was like, you know what? Like, I don't believe that he can fix me. I'm a mess. Like, I can't, there's no way that I can feel this way. And when you pray and seek God, when he does take you out of it, which he does, you got to be consistent with it. You got to make that commitment, being like, okay, I want to follow God. I don't want my life to be like this anymore. And he will heal you, and it's amazing of what he can do. And when you get out of that, like, my anxiety is not nearly as bad now. I do still struggle with it, but he got me out of that, and now I can use that as a testimony for you and all the other people that may struggle with anxiety or depression or suicidal thoughts too. And I was also very suicidal too. And you can use that as a testimony to others, and it proves that if I can do it, you can do it too. And a lot of other people that may have been feeling that way. Let's see. I'm just getting over a cold, I'm sorry. Okay. How does your brokenness is welcome your shirt personal to you? Well, sorry, the video just stopped filming. Okay. Anyways, so how is the brokenness is welcome here shirt personal to you? Personal to me, well, personal by meaning, I know what she means, but first start off by saying it is my favorite blogger. Her name is Soul Scripts Jordan Lee. She's amazing. Please go check her out because she is so inspirational, and yeah, she's amazing. Let me get the sweatshirt. Okay, so I have two, but I had to get like the yellow one because okay, and I'll try to, okay, this is what it looks like. It is super cute. Anyways, okay, so what it means to me is just like kind of what I said before. The question after that was just like, your brokenness is welcome here. And sometimes, you know, when you're so broken, you feel like you're not welcome anywhere. Like, whether it's, you know, a relationship, a friendship, like you feel like you have nothing to offer in this world. But I really like that sweatshirt because I feel like it helps you feel that you have a purpose through the Lord, and you do. So that's amazing. And I think what it means to me, honestly, to make a long story short, is knowing that you're welcome in this broken world, and honestly using it as a testimony too. Like, I've had people come up to me in like stores and stuff, and they're like, oh, what's that shirt mean? And then it gives you an opportunity to share the gospel. So that's amazing. How do you stay strong with God through anxiety? I think. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of like the first question, honestly, is like staying strong with God through anxiety. How I've done it, and everyone has different things, different reasons to cope with. Okay. Best advice for that. My best advice for that would be, honestly, just stay in the Word. Surround yourself with positive people, because for me, when I had an anxiety attack, I just like stopped myself. I'm like, okay, Emily, like, what's gonna happen? You're gonna pass out and die? Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, why am I so anxious? It's like the Bible says, I'm sorry, Matthew 6:34, it says, be anxious for no thing. Like, no thing, if you break it down, no thing. Like, the things of this world, you have nothing to be anxious about. It's not even, it's temporary. It's not all, it kind of in a way like all kind of pointless when it comes to certain things, and you're like, okay, is this really gonna matter in 5 years from now? Is this really gonna, you know, why is this making me feel this way? And I understand certain people, they can't control it. Like I couldn't control it, and I was just like, you know what, Emily, you know, God has so much better for me, you know, like this isn't worth it, like this is me feeling this way is just a waste of time. I can't. So I'd take myself out of the situation, and I'd just be like, go for a walk. I did have counseling for, I want to say it was 3 months. I started counseling, it was 3 months, and that helped me a lot, honestly. And it was just like a vision of like what your purpose is in this world. And my favorite, my counselor, Colette from my church, and she's amazing. Like she helped me so much. And I'm sorry, I keep coughing. I have a cold. Okay, so basically the meaning of your name. She gave me kind of a little exercise to do, and the meaning of my name. And the meaning of my name meant industrious and striving. Anxiety made me feel like I wanted to do the opposite. I was, you know, I felt useless. I felt weak. I was like, I can't even get out of bed today. Like what? Like what's my problem? So sometimes Satan will use that to take you away from your actual purpose. Like I have really bad anxiety right now, and you can't even tell. So honestly, just pursue the Lord and pursue His word, and fill yourself up with healthy thoughts, positive thoughts, His word, and He will bring an unexplainable peace over your life. And there's so many verses I can tell you about that too. And I will link a lot of the verses down below that I've used in this video, or even ones that I realized that are applicable more to. So honestly, it's just kind of when you're feeling anxious, ask yourself, why am I anxious? Like, that guy girl didn't text you back, like who cares? Like that's not a big deal. And like sometimes it's easier to say that. It's like, okay, well maybe God's protecting you from something that can be more traumatizing, that could be more like hurtful than like what you feel right now. And honestly, anxiety is so common, and you don't have to feel alone to deal with that. And the best advice I could give you for that one would be to stay strong with the Lord and pursue Him and be filled with His word, and not of the things of this world that only bring you hurt. How do you know where to draw the line between verbally telling someone about Jesus and to try to love like Jesus? I'm going to break this question down in kind of a different way, kind of being like, okay, when do I know when to share the gospel or when to act like Jesus? First off, I feel like we should always act like Jesus. It's not always easy, and we don't, like, all the time, maybe not even half the time even, like myself. Like sometimes I try so hard to, but some days you're just like so moody and you're like, I hate everything, I hate everybody, like I don't want to deal with this. And I think sometimes instead of looking people in the eye and just being like, you know, you should love Jesus, like He will save you, you know, you're gonna like die without Him, like all this stuff. And like I feel like sometimes that can be very harsh, and I feel like the more, and that's not wrong, like I know some people can go up to people and be like, are you Christian, like, you know, and some people are better doing that. I could never do that personally, but acting like Jesus, definitely He calls us to be a light. He doesn't call us to do the deep and dirty work that only He can do. So I pray that whatever situation you're in, whatever situation you're in, that just pray that the Lord will lead you to say the right things to this person. I don't know if it's some person specifically, people in school. Just act like Jesus. Be nice, be kind, you know, give people compliments. Like you don't lose anything to be nice to someone, and sometimes, you know, that's the last thing you want to do is to be nice to someone. And I know it's very hard, but acting like Jesus in a way is just being kind to one another. And I think we just need to realize that we aren't Jesus, like in a sense where we shouldn't put a weight on ourselves when we can't help that friend that's really hurting, when we can't do the dirty work that only Jesus can do. And sometimes we can feel weak, and sometimes we can feel burdened because we can't truly help the person of what they need is Jesus. But even being a light to them and being that person that they can lean on, that they can pray with, that you can lead to Christ, honestly is so important. How old are you? Where do you live? And how much do you love your job? Okay, well, I'm 18. I live in New York, and I don't have my glasses on. I love my job. I work at a gym near my house, and it's amazing. Okay, my favorite book. Oh, I like this question because I like reading because I'm a nerd, but it's okay. My favorite book. I have 2 favorite books. Let me get them. Hold on. This one I've read like 5 times. It's Crazy Love by Frances Chan. You can get it on Amazon. I can link that down below too. And my other favorite book is Struggles. And this is a lot of the I actually did with my church. I did a small group about this book, and I also helped teach girls over the summer. I did a group with them, and we did it on this book, and it's basically about self-worth and social media, and, you know, restoring intimacy with people, and how some people only have relationships over texting and stuff like that. Over texting and stuff like that. So that's this. It's awesome. I have a lot of highlights and stuff in it, but this is what this looks like, and I will try to find this one and link it down below too. And it's by okay, it's not gonna focus, but it's by that dude. He's amazing. I think there is one more question. Best relationship advice. Okay. Best relationship advice I can give without sharing too much of my testimony yet that I'm going to be saving is be with someone that has the same morals as you and that pursues you. Well, that's not what I wanted to say. That's for the girls. Best relationship advice. Put God first. Always set your boundaries high. Don't set them too low. Don't put yourself in situations of temptation. Pray together. Just really, I think bottom line is just be with someone who has the same morals and standards as you, because that is so, 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 so important. I learned that the hard way, unfortunately, but honestly, be with someone that has the same morals as you and has the same vision, and that also loves the Lord as much as you do, because that is so important, and that is so, it makes a huge difference in a relationship, honestly, and honestly, sorry, and obviously it gets the relationship much more peace about it. And if you're like stressing about like, oh, like this happens or this happens, we don't agree on it, so what if, you know, like there's so many questions. So be with someone who loves the Lord, and be with someone who has the same morals and standards as you. Okay, so that is it for this video. I am sorry if it's super long. I'm going to try to edit it down. Let me know if you guys want more of these kind of videos, or what kind of videos you want to see. I know one of my friends asked for a room tour, so I'm going to do that. As you can see, it's not really artsy right now, but so yeah, like give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you definitely want to see more videos like this, or like I said, anything, honestly. Whatever you want to see, just let me know.